Before there was Kim or Lindsay, there was Paris. And you might say we've got, well, a little bit of history.
Hi, Piers. It's me, Paris.
You probably think you know everything about Paris Hilton, but this is the other Paris, the one that you don't know.
I haven't seen you since we got married in Vegas. Good times.
Miss Hilton's made her share of headlines, but she's never told the real story until tonight.
The girl's got to have some secrets, but I'll tell you everything. After all, we were married. Sort of.
Paris Hilton on her fabulous life, her loves, those scandals, and what her mother thinks of the whole shebang.
Paris, really marry Piers.
Paris and Kathy Hilton tell it all. This is Piers Morgan Tonight. Kathy, Paris, welcome.
Thank you.
You both.
Very good.
Really
Paris?
good.
Do you feel like you've entered the lion's den a bit tonight?
A little bit.
Why?
I always get nervous in interviews, especially being at CNN.
Why? Why CNN?
Because it's just, you know, very serious and you make me nervous.
Do you think people take you seriously?
When people know me, they do.
Would you like to be taken more seriously?
I would, definitely.
Why would it be important to you, given your brand, I'm sure you'd admit this, has been built being a ditzy blonde? Why would you care about being taken seriously?
Because I feel like I've really grown in the past couple of years. I just turned 30, I'm an adult, and I feel that I deserve it.
I want to play your mother a clip that she's seen before to illustrate her role in this little triangle. I think you know where I'm going here. Let's watch this.
I do now pronounce you husband and wife. Piers, you may kiss your wife.
Thanks.
Remember, Piers, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I'm keeping the ring.
That is hysterical.
So, Kathy, we're actually married. I don't know whether you knew this.
I hear about this. She
And
did
we also committed the worst kiss in television history.
Oh.
It was like two bullfrogs colliding. But just to put your mind at rest, we're not legally married. It was an exercise for a documentary I was making about Vegas, about all those chapel weddings and stuff. But it was, you've never been in a wedding dress before, have you? That was it.
Yeah, it was the
Your
first
one and
time.
only time. How did it make you feel?
It was exciting, it was fun. You know, I think everyone has to get married in Vegas at least once. So
What I remember most about that day I spent with you was two voices. And it was a bit like your friend Michael Jackson, who you knew very well. Very high-pitched, sort of quite silly voice for part of it, which was the brand, if you like. And then the moment I talked about business, boom, your voice dropped a few octaves. I saw a completely different Paris Hilton. And Michael Jackson was the same, wasn't he? He had this sort of two-voice thing.
It's more about being shy, believe it or not. They go to that place.
But is it saying Paris is shy?
She can.
Really? You could be shy?
Yes, I am.
I find that almost impossible to believe.
It's hard to believe, but it's true.
Why are you here?
Here with you,
Yeah, why are you doing the interview?
because I missed you.
That is perfectly understandable. But actually, you're here to promote something, because you wouldn't do it otherwise, would you? Part of your brand that you control pretty ruthlessly, and I nothing wrong with that, is that you come on to promote stuff. What?
I'm here for The World According to Paris, which is my new TV show.
I love that title. The World According to Paris.
Yes.
How interested are you in the world?
Very.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you interested in world affairs?
Yes, I am.
Genuinely?
Yes.
I mean, when you see what's going on in the Middle East and stuff like that, do you have a healthy interest, or does that kind of stuff not really touch your life?
I have so much going on in my life that, yes, I do pay attention to what's going on in the world. I also focus a lot on my business.
Kathy, you're in this TV show quite a lot.
Yes.
What's it like being Paris Hilton's mum?
It's been quite an experience. It's been quite a ride.
I mean, she's a phenomenon of modern times. You know, there aren't many others like you. I mean, in Britain we have Katie Price, I guess, someone like that. Here you have the Kardashians and others. People who've become famous for being famous, I find that an offensive term, and no reason why you should, but built these incredible business empires around being a brand.
I think with Paris, to me, she's just my daughter until we're out somewhere in public. And I see all of the craziness. One day we were in Las Vegas and we were supposed to meet at the store in the mall. And I had stopped at another store first, and I saw all of these policemen with the hats and the clubs, and like this craziness, like fighter was coming out. And all the people, that's Paris Hilton. And it was weird because I couldn't even get to my own, they were running by, I couldn't even get to my own daughter.
Because the media...
So then you stop and look at that and go, wow, that's intense.
I've seen, went to one of your fragrance launches, and it was just madness. I mean, mayhem down there. But it's interesting because the media that likes to ridicule you also loves to feed off you. I see that as a former newspaper editor. You know, you used to sell papers, and yet at the same time, nothing we used to like more than mocking Paris Hilton. Do you find that easy to deal with? Are you happy with that relationship with the media?
You know, it used to really bother me when I first came out in the media when I was 15 years old. It was really hurtful, and, you know, I would cry to my mom about it. But it's been happening for so long now that I just don't pay attention. I have so many positive, amazing things in my life that I don't really like to focus on negative things.
Do you
so I just
Google
don't pay
yourself?
attention. Not really. My publicist will send me articles.
If you came on America's Got Talent, what would your talent be?
Singing.
Can you? Yeah, you can sing. You've made an album, haven't you?
I'm recording my new album right now, too.
But you're a serious singer. Or are you a brand that sings as an extension of your brand?
It's just part of my brand. I see myself as a businesswoman and a brand, and singing is something that just adds to my brand.
And it's funny, you know, when I interviewed the Kardashians, we got a bit of flack on the show because people say, well, why are you interviewing them for CNN? But I find this phenomenon really fascinating. The fact that you can build this empire, this brand, out of being you, whether people like you or not, or take you seriously or not, is almost immaterial. The fact is that millions and millions of people around the world live their lives vicariously through you and are fascinated. Otherwise, you wouldn't have this business. I mean, Kathy, what do you think of modern fame in that sense, that you can actually see your daughter Paris not going traditional talent route like acting or any of those kind of things, but just being Paris Hilton and making all this money?
Well, it's been, as you said, a long time in the making, and she does work so hard. It's a lot of and traveling, and so, and she's very dedicated.
Do you worry about her?
I used to, but I really don't as much anymore. I'm a lot calmer now.
Because she's behaving better?
She's behaving better, and she's up, and she's been through a lot.
I mean, interesting to me that you said that you feel like you're an adult now, but that's because you turned 30, but you're aware you become an adult at 18.
But she's still like a little girl, and that, I think, is one of the very attractive, sweet qualities of us.
Why
I
are
can
people...
scold her and yell at her, and she'll be like, okay.
Why are people so fascinated by Paris, do you think?
I think that, you know, she has a famous last name. She's very attractive. She is daring. She's willing to go out there, and then if she stumbles, she picks herself right back up and dusts herself off. And she's very ambitious. And a lot of people look at her and say, well, why does she have to go and do anything? She's a strong character.
That's what I say when I defend you to people. Because I'm a bit a fan of yours, because I like the work ethic, like I do with the Kardashians and others. I think people work hard,
That's right.
and they work on creatively, they make lots of money. I see you in no different light to a business person at all, to some tycoon running a retail business, whatever. It's the same principle. You're still involved in developing and marketing and promoting and making money from a brand. So I get that. But it's interesting, I mean, you said in the simple life, you know, that it wasn't really you. Is this show that we're now going to see more the real Paris, do you think?
The show is all real, everything that happens, and I felt like I was finally ready to show who I really was. And I'm really a show, and there's a lot of things in the show I can't even believe I'm gonna let air, but I want it to be as real as possible and people to get to know me, because I feel like there's so many misconceptions out
What
there.
are the misconceptions about you?
I think there's definitely a lot. Just having the last name Hilton, everything was handed to me, and I've never had to work a day in my life. But in reality, I've worked so hard. I've done this all on my own, and I don't take anything from my family. I do everything by myself.
See, that is laudable. There's no question.
And also, she's not as she's kind of thrifty in her own way. I think the public has this perception that she has no regard for money and she's spoiled rotten. And I remember she and Nikki wanted cell phones when we moved to New York. And I was like, there's no way. You're 15, you're not getting cell phones. Well, everybody else has one. And she tried to explain that it's for safety reasons. So finally, after about 6 months, I gave in. And, you know, then she'd lose the cell phone. That's over. But I think that the public or the media has run with that so much, and it's so not true.
Well, lots of girls in your position, you know, who come from the Hilton family, would have probably just not bothered working at all. You didn't need to. And that's what I mean about saying it's what you've actually done with your life. Because, again, whether people like you or not, it doesn't really matter. It's the fact that you do work hard.
Yes.
You know, and I can admire the ethic there that comes from somebody who had, you know, every reason, if you wanted to, just to do nothing at all. How much of that was Darren's?
Just growing up, my parents never spoiled us. They always made us want to do something on our own. I think I have a name where I have a lot to live up to, and I didn't want to just be known as the Hilton granddaughter. I wanted to build my own empire and do something. I think it was just something that runs in my blood, wanting to be creative and do big things.
Well, I want to interrupt to say that my husband is self-made. And I met him when I was 15, he was 19, and we got married 4 years later. And we had Paris a year and lived in a tiny little apartment. And if you saw a picture of it, you would not believe it. And we have done everything on our own. And yes, you have a name, but the door can be shut right in your face too.
Do you get from it sounds to me like you do about this kind of sense that you've just been born into all this, that you're all just a bunch of rich socialites?
It is. It is, to me, frustrating.
Does that annoy you?
But the people that know us know the truth.
Well, how would you categorize the Hilton family? Yeah, in terms of values.
They have incredible values. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law is now gone. All of my brother and sister-in-laws, I have 7 brother and sister-in-laws. Everybody is very honorable. They wouldn't lie to you. They don't brag. They are an incredible, I mean, I really respect them.
Let's take a short break, and when we come back, I want to talk to you the moment that catapulted you into the celebrity stratosphere.